Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Two Idiot Gamers podcast. I'm Chris the Wiz, the one on the left.
He's the mug on the right. He's the mug over there. What are the switches?
This
What do
is
you mean? What are the switches? What do you mean,
what are
Lyle?
it's
Yeah, it came
out.
out. We watched the first two episodes. Sorry, we're starting. We're gonna say
Oh
hello,
yeah,
welcome to the Two Idiot Gamers. Lyle, the first two episodes of the Yakuza show came out, and guess what?
A-
They were
AC's the one on the right,
fucking
by the way.
awful. I'm totally the one on the right. You know, the one with the green skin, the superior color. But also, yeah, Lyle, the Yakuza show is dog shit.
So yeah, I figure we might as well just get the cat out of the bag because
It's
we just finished watching the first two episodes of the Yakuza show. For
Bruh,
some
Kiryu
reason, we
isn't even
couldn't
Kiryu.
we couldn't
He's
watch we couldn't watch episode 3 because Amazon Prime just like shat the bed on me for some reason. Um, but yeah, the Yakuza show. I think I just came in with too high hopes for it. But a lot of the characters don't really seem like the characters that I'm like really used to. It's kind of sad, honestly. Um, yeah. I don't think we should get into spoilers because that'd probably take too long.
what do you mean? It's just they decided that they were gonna Americanize the fuck out of Yakuza and make it
Oh
boring.
God, right?
They were gonna
Like,
take
okay,
Kiryu and be like, Kiryu, the noble, he's the noble, great Yakuza who will always try and protect everyone. No, this Kiryu isn't that. His entire motivation for joining the Yakuza was he wanted to be a cage fighter for some reason and beat the shit out of people. Like fucking what? Like
he
Kiryu
wanted to
isn't.
be. Apparently,
Mm,
there was another Dragon of Dojima that he saw in a fight one time, and he was like, "Oh, I want to be like him. I want to be I want to be in the Yakuza," which is completely like different from how he wanted to be in the game.
it's
Kazuma's in the
idiotic,
show,
is what it is.
but they hate Kazuma for some reason. I don't
They
know
hate.
why.
They hate. They seem to hate everyone, and they also. Yeah, no, he never wanted to be the Dragon of Dojima. He just wanted to live up to his father's like the like legacy of being this great protector type character, right?
Yeah,
And the version that we get is, you know what? I think I'm gonna be as edgy as fuck and try and pick fights with random people and be like angry at everything. I'm like, since when was Kiryu even remotely this angsty? He's a motherfucker who goes and sings karaoke, and he sings like
yeah.
what's Kiryu's signature song, Chris? What's his signature song in karaoke? Hmm?
I think it would be Judgment, right?
It could be.
Or
How's that one go again?
Bakematai.
I think it's a combination, one of those two.
Yeah, it's either one of those two. We're breaking the law,
And it's
breaking the
he's an inherently
rules.
silly kind of.
Kiwase.
Well, he does stab a dude in the leg and leave him just bleeding out. Then be like, I hate taking the bus, and like force a guy to give him his car. This
Yeah,
is
he
Kiryu after he's been in prison, right?
yeah.
I'm like, Game Kiryu would
There
be like,
there's
I'll
a lot
walk.
of time jumps between like Yakuza 0 time frame and then Yakuza 1 time frame, so like 80s to 2005. Um they happen at really weird moments that kind of breaks the pacing up.
Not
Yeah, it's really
really
weird.
doesn't sound like Kiryu at
One
all.
one thing that I find really dumb when it came to the show, there's some characters like that I had to move my mouse over the sidebar because Amazon has this feature where it tells you, oh, here's the actor and here's the character they're playing. And I had to do that like several times because I didn't know who the fuck was playing who.
Also, at no point does Kiryu actually no. Kiryu only vaguely looks like himself when he wears the suit, but like 90% of the time he doesn't wear the suit. So you're like,
Yeah. He doesn't
what?
even wear his Yakuza 0 suit, like the one he like the one
He
that had
wears
the
like a
chains.
he wears like a black suit, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, that's
I
like
mean, he
It
does
was
look
really
like
weird.
Kiryu when you first meet him in Yakuza 0, because in Yakuza 0, at the very beginning, he wears a black suit.
Yeah, he had the black suit, but then he changed it
He like
to
ditched
have
it
like
almost
the
immediately.
orange little suit in the
The,
orange
like,
like shirt, and then the other whatever fucking color
no,
suit
it's
it
so.
was.
The only character who vaguely seemed like himself was Majima, and he only had like one scene where he was kind of a
Yeah,
cameo character. But he
there's
looks
a
and acted like Majima. I was like, okay, that's Majima, and then no one else has even vaguely made me think that they're their character.
so I'll set the stage. The scene where Majima comes in, he comes in with Saijima, AC's favorite character. Um,
Sajima is dog shit.
they they
Do
Majima
not slander me like this.
like presses past Kiryu. Kiryu is like, you could have just asked me to move out of the way or some shit like that. Majima comes back, reaches in Kiryu's jacket, pulls out his pack of cigarettes, takes a cigarette out, gestures for Kiryu to light it. Kiryu goes to light it, but moves the lighter out of the way and
It's like petty childish shit.
yeah, like talks shit to Majima, and Majima gets all angry at Kiryu.
But
Um,
you're also like watching. You're like, wait. Why is Kiryu acting like he's just fucking Majima? Why is he doing random bullshit that's like kind of Majima's whole deal? Where like Kiryu in most of the games treats Majima more like he's an annoyance than anything else.
yeah,
Like he doesn't treat him like, oh yeah, I want to fight. He's just like, oh god, I have to fight this fucking guy again. Please no, can we
yeah,
please do
especially in
literally anything
Kiwami.
else? Right.
But
And then like
uh,
by like Yakuza 3, they're basically allies.
yeah, they're
No,
like good
Yakuza by
friends.
Kiwami 2, they're basically like actual allies who don't try and like Majima will try and pick a fight, but it's generally just to like fuck with Kiryu. It's not to like actively try
Actually,
and kill
like
him.
hurt him.
It's more like I just want to fight because that seems fun.
Like the one scene that really always cements their friendship to me is in Yakuza 3 after like the exposition dump chapter where Kiryu's fighting all those fucking thugs outside the building, and Majima comes in with like the pink dumpster truck. Um, and then he like opens the door and he's like, Kiryu, I didn't squash you, did I? And then Kiryu's there and he's like suppressing like a smile. And then he just hops in the truck with him, and I'm like, oh wow, Kiryu really does like Majima.
No, they actually like each other, but like the show doesn't seem to. I did see. I mean, I could be confusing this with a different show, but I'm fairly certain I haven't. Well, I swear I saw somewhere that the actors were banned from playing the game, so they wouldn't like try and make their characters more like the game counterparts. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, the
Why?
what I remember
Why?
is that the
The-
actors wanted to play the games, but they were specifically told not to because they wanted the characters to do their own spin on the characters, which is fine. But
But then at least have
at
somebody
least
on.
have like the script reflect that, because there's parts in like the show that like Kiryu doesn't act like Kiryu, like
No, he tries to start fights.
or Nishiki
He's
doesn't
like
act like Nishiki or something like that.
Nishiki doesn't look like Nishiki at any point so far, but he does mostly kind of act like himself. Kind of.
Dude, Lyle, Shibusawa's in the show, and when they because there's a part in the show where they're watching.
Oh yeah,
like,
and he's like
a
announced
TV.
as a murderer, and you're like, wait,
yeah,
who the
and
fuck
I'm like,
was that?
and I was like, that was Shibusawa this whole time. That what?
Yeah, no, it doesn't tell you shit. You don't know who anyone is. They kind of expect you to know who characters are, but because no one even vaguely looks like the game versions, they're like,
Yeah,
I don't know who these fucking people are. Kiryu at least doesn't look like he's anorexic. He does look kind of like he works out, but that's about it. That's all
yeah.
we got going for him.
And he wears his suit, which is like I would say like the only like accurate, the only accurate so far game thing, that and Nishiki's like white suit that he wears after he turns evil.
He doesn't even wear
Um,
that. Whenever you see Nishiki, he's wearing the black suit with the rest of the Yakuza. They all look the fucking same.
Yeah. Date-san's in the show, which is nice.
Date
But
is
he,
in.
but he
Date's
doesn't
there, but
have
he's
his like he doesn't have his trademark trench coat, which kind of sucks.
I mean, he's young, but also Lyle, in my defense, I'm watching the show entirely to shit on it and with no other motives. I thought it was going to be bad from the beginning. I was like, it's made by Amazon and they did Rings of Power, which was crap. I know people are raving about it being good. It's still
I
a
mean, I
terrible
liked it. It was
adaptation.
good.
Yes, but it's still not an adaptation of Lord of the Rings. It's just something that has the name slapped on top of it, but doesn't
I
seem
don't
to
know.
do the thing right.
Honestly, I've seen the entirety of Rings of Power season 1 and 2, and season 2 is like more of an adaptation than than the Yakuza show so far. Um
That
yeah.
is kind of not even that difficult to do. Skin suit, yep, 100%.
Uh yeah, there was a season 2. It just like ended like a couple weeks ago, and they're already
Yeah, there
talking
was a
about
season
season
two.
3 and shit.
Although, did you
Uh
hear Velma got cancelled after
yeah.
2 seasons? It got straight up cancelled, and Velma was one of the worst shows ever made, and it had
Uh
nothing to do with its source material. See, there's this thing in Hollywood where anyone who's had a vague notion of something is now given a budget and been like, "Yeah, go try and adapt this thing that absolutely no one should try and adapt in the way you are trying to adapt it because it's not an adaptation. You're just making a random fucking show that has nothing to do with the original. It's just its own pointless thing that exists in and of itself with no regard for anything that made its source material cool or good. It's like they didn't
yeah.
understand and they picked all the worst parts and were like, yeah, we'll adapt that. Yakuza did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yakuza is just as bad.
I mean, we'll still watch the show as it comes out. Uh
I
So
don't
we
know.
only watched up to episode 2. We were gonna watch episode 3, but Amazon Prime just like shit the bed and like took episode 2 and 3 off the website. Like you can't play them. They're there, but you just can't play them,
These
which is
concept
really
art
really fucking
versions of
weird.
the Velma characters. I mean, that can't be hard. Also, the weirdest thing to me about the Velma show is how disrespectful it was to Fred for some reason. Like, Fred did not deserve that. No version of Fred has ever been deserved the treatment they gave him in that show. I do not understand why they made him such a weird man child. It's like watching Chris do anything.
Shut up. I am not that. I'm not like Fred. Come on.
There you are.
Uh.
Mystery
But
Incorporated,
yeah,
Fred. You have an obsession with nets.
with the Nets. No, what?
You've obviously never watched Mystery Incorporated. You make me sad.
No, I have, but like it would make more sense if you said traps.
Yeah, but the main way they show it is nets. Yeah,
Oh,
but like,
well,
I get it, making white people seem very. Dude, Chris is totally Mystery Inc. Fred.
shut up. Oh, well,
What?
Mr.
How's that
Inkfred is
bad? No,
Mr.
Mystery Inc.
Inkfred is kind of cool, honestly.
I was talking
I
about
love the whole thing where he just loves traps so much. Whenever like there's I remember like a scene where Velma or not Velma Daphne is
Daphne.
at his house, and she finds one of his magazines and she thinks it's like a smut magazine, but it's just like Traps Weekly, just like
It's so
like fucking
dumb. And
traps.
he's so embarrassed about it. I'm like, my dude, you carried this so on your sleeve that it means nothing.
It's so fucking funny.
It is so
Uh,
funny.
but what have you been up to, AC? Have I'm guessing you've been playing more like a dragon, right?
No, this week I have done literally nothing but editing. Although last weekend I did film a sketch. I haven't edited it or put it together yet because I've been doing jobs that pay me money, and I
Mm-hmm.
presently just need money, so I haven't edited it yet. But I have done my own. I do remember the cover. It was a trap cover. It was so good. But I do remember. It was basically my kind of twist on the Black Knight sketch from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Or at least I used that as inspiration. What I actually made is actually nothing like that. But that's the
Uh,
vague idea of what I went for. It's the tone that I was aiming at.
but
I think
other
what we
than
made
that, how's your week been? Good or
tiring. I've spent my whole week doing nothing but staring at a screen and editing. I'm dying
dude? I feel you,
inside.
man. I've been doing nothing but like clips and shit for my streams. So like
Although,
yesterday I did like seven, I think seven clips that I set to upload on my YouTube every day at 10. And then after this podcast, I'm definitely going to be like making more clips for the 288 Gamers YouTube channel.
although I will say the other thing I've been doing is putting up my YouTube videos for my Kamen Rider YouTube videos, which are for my tiny little channel are doing decently. They've got hundreds of views for
Oh,
my
that's
tiny
good.
little thing. But like the video I put up yesterday is at like 124 views and growing, so that's nice. It went. Most of my videos do not go that fast. They usually take like a week or two to actually get to like 100 or 200 views. I haven't made the shorts yet, Lyle. I was too busy trying to fight the fact that the fourth video got copyright struck, and then I had to re-edit it. Then I've been doing my other part, my paid work edit podcast, and that's been killing me, man. So yesterday I re-uploaded it, uploaded it twice. The second time it got a copyright strike after like being up for like 8 hours. The strike was finally hit, and it has no impact. It's like, oh no, you can actually use it. And Toei, of course it's Toei. Toei striking me, but it's fine. I'm like, dude, I don't even have 200 subs yet. I've got 111. Holy shit, I've got 111. Where did these other 10 to 11
nice.
people come from? Anyway, the YouTube's actually growing, so that's nice. But
yeah,
I need it's consistency. I'm putting up the longer form videos. I need to make shorts out of all of these. There's going to be a lot of them, and it means I have to figure out what's funny in all of these videos.
I'll tell you one thing. When it comes to the 288 Gamers YouTube channel, our most popular short is is sitting at 13K views, and it's the one where you basically tell me that orcs don't want to take over, and that's from our like Warhammer discussion.
The Warhammer stuff's probably going to do fairly well, I think, because it's a big thing at the moment. But it's doing. I did see that one was doing well, and I did repost it as well myself. Also, I will say the thing that I'm proudest of is the fact that this recent video is already getting like decent amounts of comments. Anyway, we're going to move back on to shitting on the news, which includes. Actually, what does it include for now? My brain has been fried by editing.
News-wise, Subnautica 2 got announced. Have you played Subnautica 1 or like the little spin-off game?
I have the original Subnautica. I've never actually finished it. I've just stared at it for hours and been like, and then just kind of moved on.
Yeah, I think I played the first one for like a little bit, but I have like severe thalassophobia. So like that would make playing it so much harder for me. Because I just hate like the open ocean and there's like nothing, and like the fucking the sea monsters and shit. It just freaks me out. Ugh, makes my skin crawl.
Then you should play it for Halloween. The whole point of playing
Halloween games is to
I
already did all the Halloween games yesterday, and they fucking scared me so bad. My chest just started hurting because I was freaking out so much.
How did you scare yourself with Halloween games? Not like barely any of. Yeah, exactly, Lyle. Don't be a fucking baby. The spiders on your back are much worse. It's true.
Let's see what else.
Especially that big fucking huntsman.
Huntsman of what? What do you mean?
The huntsman spider. It's on your back.
Oh.
Can't you see it?
Can't you
feel it crawling up your back?
Shut up.
You can
I'm not as scared of spiders as I am of like the open ocean sea.
So you prefer to see just a giant expanse of water underneath you? No, land,
I would not. I would not prefer to
miles.
see that. Actually, that would make me fucking terrified.
Yeah, but it's all carbonated, Chris. It's fine. All it'll do is make you burp a lot, and then you'll burp a little bit more, and then the burping will just explode outwards.
Fuck.
Don't burp so much. That's rude, Chris.
So so moving off the news just for a little bit.
Yeah.
My week was pretty good. I was playing a lot of games. I've been playing a lot of Frostpunk 2. I don't know if you played the first Frostpunk. Um, but the sequel just came out recently. It's free on Game Pass on PC. Um, it is almost like an entirely different game from the first game. The first game is like more of a city builder where you have to build around this generator in this Arctic area to not freeze to death. And you have to decide where people work in order to keep the resources up. And in Frostpunk 2, it's like you're managing like a whole like districts and regions and shit. It's like way different. Um, I I was expecting it to be more like the first game coming in, but the more and more I reflect on how much I played of the second game, I recognize that it is really good in its own right.
Oh yeah.
It
Apropos
what's
of
up?
nothing, I started playing Andromeda. Well, I say I started playing Andromeda. I downloaded it at last and played about 15 minutes of it and then stopped.
Math,
Mostly because I had to go to bed, not because I was bored. I
oh,
like just had to go to bed.
you didn't even get to
Um,
the Tyrion waifu?
I haven't had a chance to game this week, dude.
Yeah, I
I've been
know.
just asleep. I did, and I've been letting Lindy game a bit because she doesn't often get a chance to game. So she's been playing Jade Empire, which is an old ass fucking game.
How's that been?
She's been enjoying it. She does have some rage moments due to both being old, so it glitches, and then she dies because glitch, and like, so there'll be weird laggy moments as well where it just like inputs lag.
Yeah,
So that's just my observations of somebody else playing it though. But it's like has odd lag, and then it also has bits with where I've watched her get stuck on it, and then she got angry and just like rage crew was like, I'm gonna take a break from that shit now, and then come back, and then she beat it. She beat the level after like just doing a tiny bit of grinding outside of it of whatever she was doing. At least from my observations, I can't say if it was good because it you know is very old. Like
but yeah,
I'm like I can't.
all in all, I really did enjoy playing Frostpunk 2. I highly recommend it if you guys have like PC Game Pass. You guys should definitely check it out. It's definitely worth it. Um,
Okay.
there are like some performance issues that I will say, because you're building a lot of buildings. Obviously, it's gonna like cause the game to lag. I think I was playing it on low settings, and still it made my computer chug a little bit. It did not like me streaming it and playing it at the same time. Um, but yeah, it's definitely worth it. I also played all three Fear games because it was like Halloween spooky month and all that.
I
I
thought you
gotta
said fear
say,
wasn't that scary.
yeah, I
I
gotta say,
remember you
Fear
saying,
1, 2, and 3 are like not that fucking scary. And this is coming from a guy that grew up playing Fear 2, and that made me like super scared of like little girls with like the long black hair and shit. It After I played that when I was little, I'd always have to check behind the shower curtain whenever I went to use the restroom or before I went to sleep. It was
but
really
why though?
crazy. Oh, it's because Alma, like the jump scares really got me in the second game when I was little. But not
Chris
so
is
much now.
terrified.
Um,
Chris is scared
I
of
will
children.
say, going from game to game, there's definitely like the gameplay changes really evident. So like Fear One, it's really focused on having the slow mo, because enemies can basically kill you super quickly if you don't run into every encounter with like a full bar of the slow mo and you don't use it a lot. Fear Two, it's funny when I first started Fear Two. There's like aim down sights and shit, and it has like a very Call of Duty feel to it, which I'm guessing is really evident because Call of Duty came out around Fear Two, I believe, and then Fear Three is
Which Call
like
of Duty? Because there were a lot of
maybe
Call of Duty games.
Modern Warfare Two.
Yeah, probably Modern Warfare 2, because remember the original Call of Duty games were actually like World War games.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare, the way we
Okay.
think of it now isn't how it started at all.
So Fear 2
It's
came
weird.
out in 2009,
Okay,
February 10th.
I have not
So,
played that game.
and
I
then
thought you
going
said
into Fear,
these horror games scared you, Chris. What the fuck are you talking about? And you're like, yeah, but Fear was mid. I'm not scared of anything. I'm like, what the? Okay, go play Subnautica and be scared.
I just said that Fear 2 scared me as a kid, but like going through like Fear 1, 2, and 3, I'm like, oh look, there's the little girl. Oh look, there's someone watching me from like a window, and they walk past it. Like I didn't get like scared at all. It was like super super crazy.
See,
Um,
the people watching from the window is only scary when A, you can't fight back, and B, you don't notice them the first time.
yeah,
So
that's
you go
true.
watch your footage and then you walk past them and you're like, oh, well, that's kind of more terrifying in retrospective.
I mean, you guys could go ahead and watch like the VODs of me playing Fear 1, 2, and 3, and like, yeah, I don't react at all to like the scares. Not like when I played the horror games. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and those fucking got me.
What did you even play?
So let's see. I played. One second. Let me just load up my YouTube Studio because I put like the names of the games in like the tags. Um, let's see. Content, shorts. I played a game. I played a couple games. One was called The Dog.
The
Another one
dog.
was called The Kiosk. One was called Microbial Factor. One was called the Fairy. One was called Clap Clap, and the last one was Elevated Dread. Oh, I also played Alan Wake 2, the new DLC that just came out. That was really good. Um,
I've never played an Alan Wake game and I never will. They
you
seem
you
meh.
you definitely should, because Alan Wake 1 and 2 are really really good games. Basically, the whole DLC is really anti AI, which is funny because there's a part in Alan Wake 2 where you get to this area, and they're talking about putting like certain things into this algorithm to try to mimic Alan Wake's writing in order to provoke a response from the lake to basically make things happen, like test wise. Um, and when you go into this area, you see and hear a bunch of typewriters clicking, and it's like, wow, this game this game is like really really anti AI, because they make a reference to like how passionless it is, and like how it doesn't actually contribute anything to like the testing, and it doesn't really do anything. um but yeah, really really good. And it really ties into Control, the another game Remedy made, and Control 2, which is their next game that they're working on after Alan Wake 2. Really,
Sounds
really, really good stuff.
okay. I'll take your word for it.
Let's see what else. I watched Terrifier 3, mainly because you told me that there was a scene in the movie that made people like walk out.
Yeah, the
Um,
shower scene, from what I've
yeah, I
can gather.
watched I watched it, and I got to that scene, and I did it. I do admit it is crazy when the Art the Clown saws the guy, or puts like the chainsaw on the dude's ass and like saws him in half. Um, but like it didn't really it didn't really do all that much for me. Uh, I was like really underwhelmed throughout the whole
Describes
movie.
Chris
The
describes
kills,
some brutal killing. It's like, it was meh.
yeah, the kills are gory. But other than that, the story really didn't do much to me, and I'm guessing because I never watched the first two. Um,
That's probably why you've probably missed some of the interesting thing because you went to, you're like, oh, Terrifier 3, let's start the third movie that's part of a
yeah,
trilogy
because
and
AC
ignore the
mentioned it
first
at the
one.
podcast.
Why didn't you watch the first two?
Well, because you talked about Terrifier 3 at the end of the last pot. The
That's
last
because that's the one that had just come out.
Yeah, it was F for me. Like it starts like it's funny because it starts with like the clown's head eating like a fucking security guard, and like his headless body like going to get the head, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then there's a scene with this girl that's like horribly disfigured, and then she uses like a piece of glass to like to pleasure herself, and that's like really fucking weird. But other than that, it didn't really do much for me. Yes, you heard that right. It was super fucking weird.
Bruh.
What I I'd recommend it if you just like slasher movies and seen the first two. But if you haven't,
Chris,
yeah,
go watch the
probably.
other
Yeah.
two, then shit on Terrifier 3 after you've watched all three. To be fair, it does give me the vibe that it goes mostly on shock value more than anything else.
Yeah, shock value. Yeah, definitely. Um, Other than that, not much has been going on. At least regards to me. Um, just mainly editing clips and shit, playing games. I'm pretty sure like the next like big game I want to start playing is Infamous, which is like a PlayStation exclusive game.
Yeah,
That
it's a
was like one of
superhero.
the
It's the competitor. It was basically the competitor to Prototype
yeah,
back
yeah.
in the day.
Which I played Prototype too. I played the fuck ton of that. In fact, Prototype is like one of the big inspirations to my character and like his the whole changeling thing and all that.
Shame you never
Um,
played the original Prototype, which
Prototype One,
objectively
yeah,
had
with Alex Mercer.
yeah, which objectively had a better story.
Yeah, I never played Prototype Two. Um,
You just said you played the shit out of Prototype too.
no, I meant one. Sorry.
You played the first one. You didn't play the second. I see. I
Yeah, I
see.
never played the second one.
The only big game I want to play right now is Sparking Zero, and I can't afford it. But I want that game so bad. I would do so many things for that fucking game.
Just get Lyle to buy it for you.
Not a chance. I'd have to sell my
Um,
kidney for that fucking game.
let's see. What else? What else have I been up to this week?
Work, sleep, not having a dog.
Actually, no, I haven't been to work in like 4 days. They haven't scheduled me these last couple of days. Um, but I
Isn't
do
that
work tomorrow.
mine? Isn't it? I was going to say, isn't that slightly concerning? Um,
No, they need me over there. They
I'm
really do
assuming.
need me over there.
I'm assuming you've already voted then.
Not yet. No.
Oh yeah, you're in Texas. Why would they allow early voting? Also, apparently, I've seen rumors that Ted Cruz might lose and get kicked out.
No, I fucking hope so. That little prick. Ugh, I hate him so much, man. Like I saw a bit of the like debate that he had with that I forgot the guy's name, but they were on stage and Ted Cruz was just laughing and the guy was like, "This isn't a time to laugh," and he like was talking about some very serious issues, and Ted Cruz just stood there, didn't say anything right after he got told basically shut the fuck up. Yeah, Ted Cruz is just a fucking little goblin prick. He doesn't deserve to be in office anymore.
Did he ever?
I think what really broke the camel's back for me is when he left when we had the deep freeze a while back. That
Wasn't hasn't
really
he
that
been
really
shit? He's
cemented it.
been shit from the beginning though. Like he was never good.
I mean, probably. I just didn't really follow like the politics all that much.
You should. These are
I
the
know I
people
know that he like
who
really likes Trump and shit. Uh,
I don't understand why Trump's just Mussolini, a Mussolini wannabe,
Also, did
except with
you
half the charm.
speaking of Trump, did you see that he worked at a McDonald's?
What do you mean? He staged a photo shoot at a McDonald's.
No, why would he do that? He's a
A super
truthful
billionaire?
businessman. Yeah, he's a truthful businessman. He'd never lie about something, right?
Since when?
He'd never cheat on his wife with a porn star, right? And
Yeah,
pay her to keep quiet about it.
the
He'd
porn
never do
star or his
anything like
wife?
that.
Or both?
What's up?
The porn star or his wife? Which one did he pay?
The porn star.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he pays his wife to stay with him.
I don't know about that. I haven't seen her in any of like the shit that he's been doing.
This is true. But have you seen his youngest son? You know, the one who's
Trump Jr.
apparent no, youngest son, not one of the two gremlins.
I think I've heard that he might be like a killer or something. He like tortured animals or something. Am I remembering that
No,
right?
no, I'm pretty sure he's just an IT dude. Like he's just into computers and doing IT shit. Or at least that's what I heard. He has nothing to do with anything. He just exists. With a
Hmm.
really old senile dad who's have you ever okay, here's an exercise for you, Chris. Go read an article that has like one of Trump's speeches in it, right? And then read it out loud, but don't do a Trump impression when you read it out loud. Just read it in a deadpan voice, or better yet, get an AI to read it for you. You will discover that nothing Trump says makes any fucking sense or follows any logic whatsoever. Lyle, you
Dude,
missed
at
us. You
at
missed
this
this.
point, I don't get how people can support a convicted felon. Uh, at, it's really bad. And it's dumb.
It's because the other option's a woman, and you live in an incredibly sexist country.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I mean,
It sucks. It sucks, man.
you don't even want abortion. You don't even want to allow for like medical abortions that would save the mom because the child is more important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Wait,
I
are you asking me or are you just saying it isn't?
no, I'm being what's the word facetious about
Oh,
the
okay.
stupidity of how things go.
Yeah, it's really sad.
You
I've
live in a
seen I've seen like people like post about like Handmaid's Tale, which I haven't seen. Um there was one comic that I saw where like Trump wins and then the guy hands his wife like a Handmaid's Tale outfit and she like looks at it and like looks back at him like what?
I mean, that's basically what
I
you're
haven't
trying to
seen
do.
Handmaid's Tale, so I don't really understand like the implications. Maybe it's because
It's properly fucked up.
they don't have the women don't have rights in the Handmaid's Tale, and they're just used for
Yeah, but the problem,
kids and
yeah,
menial
okay,
labor.
so they say there's exceptions, right? But all the states that actually have like all the states like Texas that have abortion bans are like no exceptions. You died because they're run by lunatics. How do you like your governor? You love your governor, don't you? Greg Abbott's
Mm,
so good for you, isn't he, Chris?
oh God, no, that asshole. No,
You love him, don't you? That
I
you
completely
wax
turned against
lyrical
Greg
about him.
Abbott once. I think there was a shooting that happened here in Texas, and he was like just like
There've been
basically get over
several.
it.
There've been
Yeah, I know
several.
there's several, and it sucks. It sucks that you have to clarify that there's been several fucking shootings here. But
Yeah, and I love that I'm a South African who's like, guess how many mass shootings we've had in the last 10 years? I don't know, but it's less than you guys, and
zero
we're apparently a
less.
third world country. We don't give random Uzis to people. All our shootings are like, it's usually not a. If there is a mass shooting, which I haven't heard of, I'm fairly confident if there had been one in the last 20 years, I would know about it because it would be big fucking news.
Yeah,
We do have shootings, but they're like robberies gone wrong and shit like that. But it's like, yeah, okay, I can see why that could happen, as opposed to Oh yeah, no, you just
Even
it's
like
better you
when
miss
it
the
when it
sky.
comes to mass shootings, I'm always reminded of the one incident that happened a long time ago, where this guy shot up a motel. Um, and after that, they just did a ban on like guns, and they never had a single mass shooting incident afterwards.
I mean, New Zealand had that, Japan had that.
I think it
Yeah,
was New Zealand.
I think you're right, Lyle. I don't think we have mass shootings. At least not like yeah, no, I don't think we have any. Like even if you go to like London places where they're like, "Oh, people will still find a way to do it." They'll just stab you. It's like, "Bitch, I could at least when there's a guy coming at me with a knife, right?
Yeah.
A, I'll see the I'll probably it's a bit more of a deterrent if you have to get up and close, like get up close to someone to fucking stab them, as opposed to stand far away and just shoot. And it's kind of everyone dies. It's kind of the idea behind like why everyone was so fucking weird about COVID is you can't really see the people dying of COVID. You just kind of hear about it and then start bitching because it didn't kill me or my friends.
So the shooting that I was talking about was the Port Arthur massacre that happened in Australia in 1996.
Mm.
And then
Like I
afterwards they it led to fundamental changes in Australia's gun laws.
so from what I've heard, our gun laws are you can't get rifles unless you get hunting rifles, and then there are like strict ass laws where like you can't just carry a rifle around. You have to have you could like that you can't even get a permit to just carry a rifle around. You take it to the shooting range, and that's the only place you can take it out, as far as I can
Hmm.
tell. Anyway, I could be wrong about this because I'm not that read up on South African gun laws, but I also do know that we have almost exclusively concealed carry permits. And the people who carry the most guns are mostly just Dibura in like weird part in like the farms. They're basically the guys who live on farms are the ones who mostly have guns. Oh yeah, and you can't shoot at people who like break into your house here unless they like attack you. Explicitly
That
attack you
is
first.
that is really weird because I think over here in Texas that someone breaks in, you have like full carte blanche to shoot them until they're not a threat. Because
Yeah,
the
but
very
like
act of them breaking into your house is like a threat to you.
I mean, I guess, but I'm also like in South Africa, I don't know. They want to try and avoid people dying and getting this weird gung ho mentality. I think that's the idea behind it. It does tend to benefit the criminals more, but and we have a lot of those, unfortunately. But
Yeah, it
also,
sucks, man.
we have a lot of them. But also at the same time, while we do have fairly high crime statistics, as far as I can tell, it's still less common than you'd think. Oh yeah, so yeah,
There was a
and it's
smash and grab incident years ago. Lady shot the guy. She got jail time. Damn. Wait, did the guy die, or was it just like she
I think
shot the guy and she just went to jail?
the guy died.
Oh, damn.
It was like self defense, but I think they're trying to at least keep the culture so it's
Oh,
at
yeah.
least
He died.
more.
Wow.
They're trying to keep the culture to be as uh, to avoid violence as much as possible, or at least avoid gun violence. I think there are laws where if you use like other weapons to defend yourself, it's not quite as cut and dry. Like if you use a sunbuck, you'd use something else.
It's
Yeah, I
weird
know.
because
I feel
do
like
you
they should.
wait?
Yeah,
Do you guys have self defense laws over there?
we do, as far as I know. Like when I had a break in earlier this year,
Hmm.
I think I was if I since he was armed and as long as I didn't shoot and kill him, I could probably perform a citizen's arrest if I caught him. Hmm?
That's
What?
crazy because over here, like if someone comes at you with like a knife or something, you have like you'd be well within your right to shoot them until they're not a threat anymore. That's a thing that usually happens with like cops and stuff. Like one incident that I saw um was when there was this cop. I saw like a body cam footage. There's this cop that and went to this
Okay.
lady's apartment, knocked on the door. The lady like had a knife, immediately swiped, like slashed a couple times at the cop. The cop ran away a little bit,
Yeah.
pointed his gun at her, and then she like kept on aggressing towards him, and then he just ended up having to shoot her a couple times until she was no longer a threat.
Huh.
And it was
So
crazy because I saw people who I saw so many fucking idiots like talking about like, oh, why didn't he just shoot her in the leg and stuff like that? When you got to understand, shooting someone in the leg in a high stress situation is
also
like
in a high stress
almost
situation,
impossible.
like it's also like a lot of the people are like they play video games, right? And they
Yeah,
watch movies like John Wick, right? Where a guy is like insanely highly trained and like completely numb to like a lot of the stuff you'd see, but it's due to like overexposure to the violence, right? So like take a character like John Wick, which I swear a lot of Americans think they would be if they got into a fight with someone. They think they would be that
no,
badass with the thing, and they'd probably like panic and drop their gun or something. And I'm like, yeah, no, you guys are not nearly the badasses you think you are with guns. You're more likely just to shoot yourself than anything else. But it's but so Lindy just on that thing where I was talking about the citizens arresting, right?
hmm
Lindy said so. Lindy used to be a security guard or a security officer in So she says, if I'd wanted to do that, right, I would have had to have restrained the guy myself, and then held on, then called the police and waited for them while keeping my eye on the dude to make sure he doesn't commit suicide. Like I would have had to sit there, which probably would have been like 8 hours of just sitting with this asshole. What's worse yet, I know the dude who probably robbed us.
oh, it was someone you know.
Yeah,
Oh, that's worse.
he was probably my adoptive brother's older biological brother, and like when he like disappeared for years and then reappeared earlier this year, um, and he'd been in prison for like 5 6 years. And that's why no one knew where he
Also,
had been. Right?
so he had a history of stuff like that.
I have not. He's vanished since the robbery, but like he first robbed my brother in his flat in the like at the back of our property. My brother has like a flat, and he
hmm
let his brother in because it's his brother. He hadn't seen him in years, and he wanted to try and help him. And he tried to help him get back to Mafeking, where they came from. Apparently, he just like took some money from my brother, and then just never used it for that. He just went and did. We don't actually know what he used the fucking money for, but he didn't use it for what he was supposed to. And then he
hmm
came for a visit. My brother wasn't here. The builder who's helping us with our renovations was here, and saw him just like come in, go into the flat, then leave with a bag full of shit, and then just like walk out. Turns out he stole a laptop, my brother's camera, a bunch of shit.
Oh,
We were like, oh god. And then he tried to break in here, and I'm pretty sure he like kind of scoped out my office because he seems to have broken in and instantly tried to break into my office, but I'd locked the door before I'd gone to bed. So
hmm
I heard him trying to break in and chased him out. I'm
damn,
still
it's
a bit
crazy,
annoyed.
man.
I didn't pick up a weapon to throw at his head. But
Yeah, I'm just glad that you and Lindy are okay.
I mean, this
It's
was months ago,
scary.
but like
Yeah, it's
that shit
scary when
was.
someone breaks into your house. Like you don't know
To be fair,
what they intend to do.
I'm still slightly paranoid and struggle to sleep. Like if I hear too many sounds outside, I struggle to sleep. Because like hearing stuff is why I managed to catch the dude and like chase him away because I heard him. So now I'm slightly paranoid if I hear weird sounds outside. ninety
Yeah,
percent of the
it's
time, it's just a cat.
crazy. Like
Like
if
9.
someone broke into our house, I think probably all of us would have trouble uh trying to adjust back after that happens. Because if someone breaks into your house, you don't know what they're gonna do. You don't know if they're just here to steal some stuff. You don't know if they're here to kill someone. You don't know if they have a gun or like a
That's
weapon or
true.
something.
I did
It's
get a bunch of
it's
people shouting at me because I like charged at the dude, and I'm like, that was fine. He almost certainly didn't have a gun.
it's something that
It was
I
weird that he ran
really
away
think
from me though.
about. It's something I really think about after listening to basically a true crime story about this serial serial killer named Mr. Cruel. I don't know if you've heard of him, but
No.
he'd break into people's houses, um, tie up like the people inside, cut like the phones so they couldn't call for help, and
Sounds like you're just
basically
describing BTK.
I don't know who that is, but
Bind, torture,
basically
kill. He was a serial killer in the 80s who did exactly what you're describing. His real name was Dennis Rader. They caught him in 2004. The story of Dennis Rader getting caught is fucking hilarious, though. It is one of the funniest stories of how they caught a serial killer I've ever heard in my life. Anyway,
okay, how'd they
sorry,
catch
you
him?
listening? Hmm?
Oh, well,
Okay,
you can. Okay, go ahead.
so how they caught him was he was one of those serial killers who would try and taunt the police, right? He liked
Uh
to
huh.
send notes and get people to
Oh God.
get them to publish shit in the newspaper. He was in Wichita, Kansas. Just if you want to look him up after this, right?
Yeah.
But so in 2004, he sent a note in the fucking in the fucking newspaper, being like, "If I put a note thing on a disc, you can't track me, right?" He said this he asked this to the fucking police, and I'm like,
Bro thought he was a Zodiac killer.
this dude is so fucking stupid that when the police are like, "Yeah, no, we can't trace you through a thing," he trusted them. He
Oh.
trusted them, answering them in a newspaper when they're like, "Yeah, no, we can't track you. There's no such thing as metadata on a thing that'll tell you what fucking computer this thing was written on. No, that doesn't exist." They
It's so
literally were
fucking
like, he sent the
stupid.
thing in. They took the they took his the floppy disk he'd written this weird code thing on,
Hmm.
and they just went, "Okay, where was this written? Oh, this is this is the IP address of this computer, right? Cool." So they went to the computer. It was in a fucking church. So they went to the church and they found it was like this random leader, Dennis Rader. They're like, "Oh, the guy who logged in when this was written, his name was Dennis. Cool." And then they just went and caught him, and he like almost instantly confessed. I'm like, this man is stupid as fuck. Jeez, Jesus Christ, how did you get caught for asking the police? The part that confused me the most is the fact that he asked the cops like they wouldn't straight up lie to him. I'm like, if it were me, I would assume the cops were lying. Be like, okay, cool, they can definitely fucking track me. This is a stupid idea. Why would I think sending this was a good idea?
Yeah.
But like, he
Worst
would,
serial killer ever.
but he didn't get caught for 30 years though. He was
No.
active since like his first killing was in the 70s, like late 70s, early 80s. He broke into someone's house and murdered like an entire family. He like suffocated them with bags and then hung their 11-year-old daughter in the cellar.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, his thing was fucked up, and they also found semen samples at the like crime scene. So like, yeah, it was the guy was fucked up. He
Dude,
was dumb as fuck when they caught him, but like,
so that kind of circles back to the whole Mr. Cool thing. So
yes,
when you were telling me that you have like trouble falling asleep after someone broke into your house, that it reminded me so much of the whole Mr. Cruel situation. Basically, Mr. Cruel is like a serial killer that break into people's houses, tie them up, and then forcibly like assault the
women.
kids the
Oh,
kids
that's gross.
that were tied up. And then I think he would kidnap either both of them or one of them. Um, it was really crazy.
Yeah,
He
no,
wore
that's
a Balaclava mask.
balaclava.
Yeah, Balaclava mask. It was red, and
A
the
red
really
balaclava.
crazy thing that happened is they never caught the guy, so he's most likely still alive.
He sounds just like the Zodiac killer who just wore like a bag over his head. Kind of looked like a really
Yeah,
lazy member of the Ku Klux Klan.
but yeah, like the most craziest thing when I like listened to like a true crime episode about that was that the fact that one of the kids that he kidnapped was like the like a kid of like a politician. Um, and they like pleaded and they wrote him so many messages, like basically saying like, "Oh, please, we forgive you. Please don't hurt our kid. We'll give you like money and stuff." And turns out that the guy just ended up killing the kid and just dumping their body in like the woods. All this time they thought that the kid was still alive.
Bruh.
Yeah, he was
Nah.
not a cool dude. Like if you Google search Mr. Cruel and just look at the images like of the mask, like the sketch artist of the mask, it's like really really creepy. It really made me uneasy learning that the guy was still around. Really 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 fucked up.
Where was he active? Like which like
I think he was like, I don't remember. Hold on, let me check. Mr. Cruel. Uh Australian
oh, is it an
Australian
Aussie?
serial child R word.
Ah,
Mr. Cruel has never been identified, and his three confirmed attacks and the suspected murder remain unsolved cold cases.
that's fucked up.
Yeah. Police describe Mr. Cruel as highly intelligent. He meticulously planned each attack, conducted surveillance on the victims and their families, ensured he left no forensic traces, protected his identity by covering his face at all times, and left red herrings to divert family and or police attention.
What the fuck
He
is that
oh
mask?
god, during one attack, he took a break in the victim's house to eat a meal. He threatened to injure his victims or their family members with a knife or a handgun. So this happened between 1987 to 1990,
What the
and he's been
fuck?
wanted since 1987.
What is that mask?
Yeah, that's the supposed mask that he had. Really,
That's
really fucking creepy.
not even a balaclava. I don't even know what the hell that is.
Yeah, it's just really crazy. I mean,
That
like if he was
hmm.
active during that time, he must be like an old man now.
Yeah.
But
I
still,
that
like
was
the
somebody.
fact,
Oh, he died, and no one knows.
yeah.
Like that's why he went inactive. The other possibilities is like BTK, who. So BTK is an American version of basically the same thing as what you described, except he didn't do children. He would uh, just do it to women.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would just assault women, but like he would pose them weirdly and then like bind them. So he'd leave them in like bound up in weird and fucked up ways, but they'll all be like strangled to death. And then there would be like semen samples everywhere. And yeah. Anyway, he had a thing where he was active in like the 80s, late 70s, early 80s for like 5 years. Then he went in completely inactive until like 1999, I think. No, it was like the early 2000s because he was caught in 2004 and he only had like two more victims in the 2000s. But like
Damn,
he
he's
got,
still in prison like today. He's
yeah,
his
no, I think
age
he's
is
still alive.
79.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Also, he was apparently like like the week before he got caught, he'd gone to like a random uh, high school reunion, like a 40-year high school reunion, and like all his
Oh
classmates were like,
god.
"This dude was normal." We had a conversation with him, like across. We sat across the table from him and had a completely normal conversation with him.
Well, you did, or like
No,
the
no, no,
the
his
people that?
classmates
Oh, okay.
at the like at the
The
anniversary thing.
reunion.
Yeah,
Damn.
and it got his whole thing was insane. I like every time I like look into any of the 80s serial killers, they're all utterly deranged lunatics. The 80s had a lot of serial killers who got caught. it just leaves me going, oh, this. There are definitely some modern serial killers. They're just actually no. Most of the modern killers in America are just they aren't serial killers. Most of them are spree killers or what's it called? Killers, mass shooters.
Yeah.
Like there was the
Man.
incel killer who was his whole case was weird as fuck. Well, I can't remember his name.
Oh god, the fucking incel killer.
No, but like yeah, he went on a big ass killing spree because he couldn't get a date. Like genuinely his logic.
Wow. What a bitch.
No, 100%. And he had like rich parents. He drove a BMW everywhere. He just couldn't talk to women at all. Like there were people, which is generally
Are you
how you
talking?
end
Wait,
up.
are you talking about Elliot Roger?
There, that's him.
Oh, that that dude.
You
Because
know
as soon
the
as
insult killer.
as soon as you mentioned driving like the car, I remember like there's like a bunch of videos like just making fun of him because he just like posts videos of him ranting in his car about how he hated women and shit, and then uh he like he drove around and just shot people and like ran over people and just like ended up like killing
Yeah,
himself. Oh
yeah,
wow.
his story is so stupid.
It's funny as I put incel killer in Google and like the first thing that pops up is Elliot Roger.
I mean, are you? You're not even surprised, are you?
No,
Because like,
I just find it hilarious that putting incel killer is like the first result is the guy's name.
and he fits the title. Like
Yeah,
I don't understand people like that. Where it's like, it's not that hard to form connections with people you're attracted to. You just need to fucking talk to them. They're not gonna come to you. You have to.
yeah,
No one's just gonna know you exist if you don't talk to them. And you have to talk to them like they're just normal people.
yeah. Instead of having this like, their things to be like conquered.
Yeah,
Yeah, just treat them like you would a normal person, and maybe things won't turn out so badly. Uh,
the logic is so bizarre.
I know, and the
You
way
sit
that
there and
people like that justify themselves, like, oh, it's the women that are the problem. It's not me.
it's never
I'm like the
them.
Chad.
It's like,
They don't take any accountability.
bruh, you're not you. If all the women you've ever encountered treat you like that, then you need to do some introspection, man. Work on yourself, and
Yeah,
suddenly
but they
people will
wouldn't.
like
They
you.
won't.
No, because that's
They.
effort.
It's too hard. It's too hard to change. They'd rather just keep hating women instead of actually changing things about themselves that women would hate.
It's true.
But you know a thing that women also hate, AC?
Yakuza TV series.
No, how hard it is to cancel subscription services.
You mean now that America's made it a law that you can do it in one click?
Yes. FTC new click to cancel rule will make it easier to cancel subscription services.
Dude, no one takes accountability. Sorry, just replying to Lyle quick. Insane people
Have
will
you ever
not.
I know there's like a big thing about like Adobe and shit, like how crazy it is to cancel a subscription from them. Personally never use an Adobe product outside of like the stuff that they give us to
I mean, I used
use
to.
in school.
Yeah,
Um,
I only ever used Adobe in school.
mhm.
I use DaVinci Resolve outside of school. DaVinci Resolve is vastly superior, less annoying, and kind of fucking free. But I will
Yeah,
say, in South Africa, we've had laws that make it so you can easily like get out of shit. Like if you want to cancel something here, you can just be like, "Cool, I'm cancelled. I cancelled this thing." And they're like, "Okay, cool." I back in DaVinci Resolve's amazing. Back in like 2020, I had to put a freeze on my climbing gym membership because of obvious reasons, right?
Yeah, you weren't
They
climbing as
literally were
much, so you
like,
didn't really see a reason to keep using it.
yeah, but they were also like, they sent out an email to everyone and went, if you want to freeze your account, please let us know. Like literally, just fill out this form. It was one form. You fill out one form.
Hmm.
It's basically giving you account details, and then they freeze your account, and then till you're ready to reactivate it.
Yeah, see, that's not as difficult. It would be easier if you could just do it online,
No, you could.
but have like,
They sent the form in an email, and it was a Google form.
oh, okay, yeah. When you
So
said
you,
like form, I'm just thinking like you had to physically
oh no, we
write
didn't have to
down like your
physically do
shit on
shit.
like a form.
No. It's 2020, man. They
Yeah.
send emails. What do you think this is? America?
Uh, I'm sorry. That's
I'm
just
not
my
American.
that I have America brain. Okay.
Yeah, you just assume they're gonna try and make you fill out a form and phone six people who won't pick up the phone, and then we'll send you in a circle, and then end in you not actually being able to do anything. Yeah, dude, City Rock's pretty good.
Yeah, obviously it's a really good thing. It's a real hassle to cancel things. So hopefully it does help a lot of people. Um, I don't have any experiences that come to mind when it comes to canceling stuff. Like having like a really bad experience. Um, I'm sure there's some out there
Have you
that I
ever
just
had a
don't
gym
remember.
membership?
No, I don't. No, I never had a gym membership.
You should get a gym membership. It's good for you.
I don't have time. I'm too busy.
You've had 4 days of
Uh,
doing nothing but playing games. What are you talking about?
yeah, and that's busy. I have to
Yeah,
keep
but
the
you can take an
content.
hour. It's good for you to take an hour. Then you'll actually look like your avatar, man. You can get yourself to have your muscles to have those ridiculous fucking proportions.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Maybe one day, mate. You're almost 30. The fuck are you talking about? Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day. Um, are you a big Five Nights at Freddy's fan, AC?
Nah.
No, so you don't really care that Five Nights at Freddy's 2 has a release date of December 5th, and it showed off the Toy Bonnie, or not Toy Bonnie, Toy Freddy.
Yeah, no, I couldn't care less.
No, okay. Well, there you guys have it.
What is
AC
Toy
doesn't
Freddy?
care about Five Nights at Freddy's.
What does Toy Bunny even look like?
Toy Bonnie is like has red cheeks, blue, all that shit. Honestly, you
Lift
you should probably
what?
play the Five Nights at Freddy's game since it's Halloween
I don't own
soon.
any of them. You want me to play those games? Send them to me. I'll play them.
Lyle,
Otherwise,
buy
I couldn't be
AC the
fucked.
Five Nights at Freddy's game. They're super cheap. All right. Next
Why
thing
did you
on
do
the
it then?
topic. No, I'm good. I already bought
This is your
you.
idea.
I already bought you lots of stuff. All right.
Like what?
So the the
It's
next
not
thing
my
on the
fault. It's
docket.
not my fault you haven't played any fucking what's it called again? Resident Evil 6. It's not my fault we haven't played that in ages.
I mean, I'm down, but we have like so much stuff going on. Like
Yeah,
288
Lyle's as
gamers
broke as me.
wise.
I do need to finish
You
Dragon's Dogma. Lyle is correct in this statement.
are you looking forward to Monster Hunter Wilds, AC?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I have no special connection with Monster Hunter at all.
Yeah, that's fair. If you do play Wilds, it'd probably be your first one. Um,
Second, third one.
okay. Well, the
You
Monster
bought
Hunter
me Monster Hunter
Wilds,
World, Chris, or did you
yeah.
forget you bought me that and I played
And
it?
have you played it since
I
then?
have,
Okay, well that's good.
but it's been a while, so I have uninstalled it because I have to get through a bunch of other things as well. For example,
So
all
the
of
the
the Yakuza
monster,
games.
yeah, the Monster Hunter showcase just happened, and they revealed that there's going to be an open beta test. PS5, PlayStation Plus, early access from 28th of this month, which is October, to the 30th of the same month, October, and then it comes to the rest of the platforms being Xbox and then Steam, the 31st of October to the 3rd of November, and that's going to come with crossplay.
Oh.
And then the things that are included in the beta is obviously character creation that's going to carry over to the full game. Story trial, which you experience the opening cutscene and play through the Chupacabra hunt with a basic tutorial. And then it's going to have the Dashaguma hunt, where the goal is to fight and defeat the alpha of the Dashaguma pack. And it's going to have like the open world area that you can explore and stuff. Um, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm gonna definitely be playing that and streaming that. Probably not on the 31st, because that's gonna be Halloween and that's gonna be really busy for me work wise. But definitely when it comes to the 28th, because I have PlayStation Plus. Um, are you gonna end up playing it, AC, with open beta?
Probably not. I've got a bunch of other things I need to actually get through first. For example, Dragon's Dogma, as Lyle has correctly pointed out, and Yakuza like a dragon, and then I need to play Ishin and a bunch of other stuff.
Dude,
Plus,
when it came to Ishin, I just couldn't really get into it because they were throwing all these like historically accurate names, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't know how to follow this. Like the story was like very Japan focused. Like you'd have to know at least something about like Japanese history to even understand what the fuck's going on when it
wouldn't
came
it
to
just
like
teach you?
the
Because you're
no,
learning through
they
the
don't
Yakuza.
they don't really do a good job of teaching you. They just like they tell you, and they have like I think an encyclopedia or something that they can look up, but they
That the
don't really do.
shogunates of the era that they show you is really interesting. I don't know why you wouldn't get into that. It's a weird section of history, but it's a really cool section.
Yeah, I'm sure like people that are really into that section of history would have enjoyed it a lot more,
And
but
it's
I
just
just couldn't follow
historians.
along with it at all. I'm sure it's a good game. I just couldn't really get into it.
That sounds like your loss.
Let's yeah. Let's see what else. The last thing. Those are the questions. Um, let's see. Did you have anything you wanted to talk about, AC?
Well, not really, unless you want to hear me complain about a bunch of games I've been playing, like Halo 2 running like ass for some reason, and like randomly glitching me out. Well, I say Halo 2. What I actually mean is Halo Master Chief Collection's Halo 2, which has a unfortunate habit of glitching at the worst possible moment.
What's
Uh,
why is it giving you problems?
Well, it's mostly because a lot of this it was one of the original Bungie games. It's all the original Bungie trilogy plus Reach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the issues was this is the like 343 reskin, so they try to fix it up and they kind of botched it. It doesn't play as well as it should. It does have the really fun addition of toggling graphics, which means you can give you if your computer is a bit wonky, you can give yourself a bit of a heart attack by switching to the old graphics and be like, "What the fuck did I just do?"
Yeah, I
Which
remember
Saber did a lot.
when I played through the first game, I was like toggling between like the original graphics and like the new graphics. It was
It's what
really cool.
no, in what in see in Combat Evolved it works perfectly, but you go to Halo 2 and you're like, "This is the wonkiest shit I've ever seen in my life." The other
Yeah.
thing that I've been doing is playing with this face that you guys all see here, this green old face here. I've been playing in some Lethal Company with this green old face. It's great fun. With Saber specifically, though, because every time I play something stupid, it's with Saber. It's just how we
Uh,
game.
idiots.
It's
What's the
it's
word?
it's more like
Uh,
siblings. You know that's. Oh wait. You know, it's a game that you play with a sibling that you just argue with incessantly the entire time you're playing, and you both call each other incompetent.
That sounds like a fun time.
Oh, I mean, it was fun. Lyle still has no idea what Lethal Company is, though.
You don't know what Lethal Company is, Lau? I
Of
get
course
the
not.
feeling that he's just like he's trolling, or it's
You
yeah, I think
don't
he's just
say.
trolling.
You think Lyle's just trolling?
Yeah.
Wow, that's you have ye have little faith in Lyle.
Hmm. So we've reached the question portion of the podcast.
Oh yeah, because we're
Let me go
running
ahead
low.
and pull up the email real quick. I have a couple of questions. One from Wildheart.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
Either of you plan to play or heard of TGC's Card Shop Simulator?
I have no idea what that is. What the fuck
It's,
is that?
to be honest, I mostly ask because it has AC's favorite thing of the customers handing over their bank cards.
Fucking what? Also, you only
So
played for
if you haven't
9
seen
hours.
TCG Card Simulator, is basically um, you set up a shop that you sell cards. People come in, buy them, and they play. They like play basically Magic the Gathering in like the shop. They sit down. You have to
Uh,
like set up tables and shit. And some of the players are like really stinky, so you have to spray them with air freshener.
oh god, it sounds like I've actually played games like I might play it, but I'd need to A acquire it, and B I'm like I've done that in real life. I've played actual games of Magic with like groups of people. It's fun. It's dumb, but it's fun. Also,
Do
I've
you
also
did you like go through like the stinky competitor where they smell like absolute ass?
I have, although in South Africa, I've noticed a lot of nerds don't smell that bad, unless it's at Comic Con, and that's usually just because it's fucking hot. And half of Comic Con like goes outside, so it's not just like in an air conditioned big hotel or something. It like goes outside, and there's bits of it that are outdoors. So if you spend more than like 10 minutes outdoors during Comic Con, you usually end up sweating like fuck.
That makes sense.
Yu-Gi-Oh is terrible though.
As for me, I don't
Okay,
really
maybe
plan on
it's
playing it. Um, yeah, I'm not really
maybe
interested in it. It looks fun. Like I played Supermarket Simulator for a little bit, but I kind of fell off of that. I just feel like it's another one of those games. Um, but yeah, thank you, Wildheart, for the question.
hmm?
I also have two questions on the YouTube side.
No, we did with actual
One
things
is a Warhammer related question
like
from
real life
Banshee323, and
situations.
they ask, "What is the oldest dreadnought?"
Hmm. Sorry,
They ask, "What is the oldest dreadnought?"
in in 40K,
Yeah, on 40K.
the oldest dreadnought. Shit, I'm gonna have to think.
Come on, AC, you got to flex your Warhammer knowledge.
It's not. I know more about like the Necrons and their like character stories, but I don't remember anything like specific about stuff. Uh,
Well, I guess that just means we'll have to do a dreadnought episode one of these
I'll
days.
have to actually research dreadnoughts. But it what?
From what I
Oh, the
remember,
oldest.
from
Okay, wait. Do they mean like a ship dreadnought or like the tank dreadnoughts?
I'm pretty sure they're talking about
Because
like the tank dreadnoughts,
because the dreadnoughts are like dead
the
space
ones that
marines
the
who've got
Space
a
Marines get put in.
yeah. Because the oldest one in the Imperium as of the 40th of the 41st millennium is Bjorn the Fell-handed of the Space Wolves.
Yeah, that was the one I was going to mention.
Yeah, and he was like he personally knew Lehman Russ, like the Primarch. So
All
he's
right,
over
well,
ten
we'll get
thousand standard years old. That dude is fucking ancient.
we'll get to your question, Lyle, after this one. Um, Thank you, Banshee, for the question. This one is from Hillbilly Wizard 497, and they ask, why is Kit Fisto talking about 40K? Actually, looking at what Disney has been doing to Star Wars, I can't blame him.
See, I talk about 40K because I have massive, wild fluctuations in things I like. I still like Star Wars, and like I get it why a lot of people are being put off by like some of the Disney stuff, but also I feel like it's impossible to please anyone with Star Wars because it's got like a very specific fan base that wants very specific things that they're not going to get because that's not really what the franchise is for. It's not 40K. Like half the stuff I've seen people in on the biggest example being Twitter wanting our stuff that basically makes it 40K, and it's like, go to 40K, you'll get that. You'll get your you'll get your
You want
weird
40K?
grimdark.
Go 40K.
You'll get
not Star
you'll get your ultra violent grimdark magic people. Go to fucking 40K. You want your murderous robots? Go to 40K. You got your Necrons. Like half the stuff that a lot of like Star Wars fans want that to me makes no sense. You just get from 40K. You'll get it in 40K, and it will please your soul the same way.
All right, thank you, Hillbilly, for the question. And we got a question in our live chat. If you guys don't know, we stream this live at Chris the Wiz TV. This one is from Another Broke Geek, otherwise known as Lyle. Are there any crossover between Warhammer and Warhammer 40K? As someone who played a little bit of Total War Warhammer and knows a little bit of the Warhammer fantasy, the only crossover that I know of is that the Chaos Gods are the same. So like you have Slaanesh, Khorne, Nurgle, and Tzeentch.
There is one difference. 40K is missing. Up? So in Warhammer Fantasy, there are 5 Chaos Gods.
And the Skaven, the Horned Rat.
In 40K, they don't have one of the Chaos Gods.
Yeah.
Like so, one of them just
that would
straight up doesn't exist.
That would be the answer. I just can't
remember who it is. Yeah, there's like one that's in. But they do kind of cross over, and they do. I mean, you'd think Age of Sigmar would cross over more, but it doesn't, and it's kind of disappointing that it doesn't. Because it'd be really cool to have some of the like iconography from there appear within it.
Yeah.
But it just is that way, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
But yeah, thank you for the question, Lyle. Do you have anything else to talk about before we go ahead and head out, AC?
I mean, the one thing I will say, especially because somebody was bringing up Star Wars, is most of where I would say Star Wars is flourishing the most is the one place most people who complain about Star Wars will never go look.
In the comics?
Books. Oh. No, the novels. The like straight up actual books, like the ones you can get as physical novels.
Yeah, I heard that the Thrawn books are pretty good.
The Thrawn books, I have almost all the Thrawn books. I'm missing 2 of them from the like prequel series on Thrawn. This is true.
Lyle, I can't read. I'm sorry. I have adverse phobia. Sorry, I have an adverse phobia to reading books.
This is because he's an American.
Yes.
And knowledge is something they hiss at and are scared of, Lyle. I'm sorry. You're scaring my podcast partner with the idea of a book. Which is very sad.
Book. Heresy. Burn it. Burn the books. Burn all the books. Heretic. No more reading.
He should definitely read in the ocean. We should. You know what we should do? We should take him on a big-ass cruise liner so he can look out and see nothing but ocean as far as the eye can see.
No.
It'll make him so happy.
No.
Lyle, don't you think it'll make him like
Dude,
just
the only
joyous?
way you'll ever get me on a fucking cruise is if you drug me and then I wake up on the cruise ship.
I would do
That's
that.
the only way.
I'd be like, look, I got you this great holiday. Look, it's a cruise ship.
I would tear up that paper in front of you and just leave. I don't care how much it costs you. I would never go on a fucking cruise ship ever. That's like, oh my god. I've seen too
Because
many movies that involve a cruise ship fucking sinking and them having to survive from the shark attacks. No.
that sharks won't attack you though. What do you? Oh, raft. Yeah, I can see that.
All right.
We should
So
definitely, Lyle. That's a great idea. Let's kidnap Chris and put him on a cruise, but he doesn't wake up until after we've set sail.
no.
So he wakes
I
up,
hate it.
but there is no escape. He is already in the middle of the ocean, and if he tries to get out off the boat, well, I mean, he could try swimming, but that seems like a terrible idea.
I hate it. Stop. All right. No more talking about that.
You know what? You know what, Chris,
So
what games Chris should play? We should play Raft with Chris. Be in the middle of the ocean, nothing but water in every direction.
so next week next week we're going to be doing a Warhammer discussion. AC is going to be teaching me about certain scary chaos gods. Right, AC?
Scary. You think the Chaos Gods are scary? Cute.
Oh yeah. Right?
I mean, I guess they could be
It's
scary.
it's to go with the whole it's Halloween theme. So we got to do like a scary
So,
Warhammer discussion.
yeah, we can do
Honestly,
scary, but like,
you could probably switch it out to something else that's more scary, that's Warhammer related. But
oh,
the
there's a
only thing that
lot of
comes to mind
scary
is like
shit in 40k.
it's the only thing that comes to mind is the Chaos Gods.
Chaos Gods are kind of they're just powerful. They're not necessarily the scariest thing in 40k. 40k's got some dark stuff in it. It's the grim dark of the far future. There is nothing but war.
All right.
And
Well, I'll leave that up to you,
like,
AC.
and you know, like space marines who are birthed from the skins of dead humans, and like, I don't know what. Name a thing. They've probably got a fucked up version of it.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for this this episode of the 280 Gamers podcast. Thank you all for listening. It's been fun. I know this one's usually a little bit shorter, but we are testing out a new thing called Wave Room to record audio. So we don't have to, sync it up in Audacity, because Audacity is like a hassle to work with, apparently. And sometimes it doesn't sync up all the way.
I mean, it's just you have to manually sync, and Chris is too lazy to do that.
Yes, I'm too lazy.
The old-fashioned way.
But yeah, we will see you guys next week for the Warhammer discussion.
Steve? Who the fuck is Steve?
All right, bye, Steve. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching and listening. Much love. See you guys next week.
Steve? Help us, Steve!